You guys ask me a lot of questions about what books I read and what I would recommend to either the sort of new space fan or the diehard Apollo fan who's looking for deeper dives into very minute things about the program. Rather than take you through my entire library, which you see behind me and can't see extended on this side of the room, I'm just going to give you 5 of my favorite books to maybe just get you started today on Vintage Space. Alright, so these are all very different categories of books, and it's a little bit kind of representative of the different kinds of books about space out there that you might find and might kind of help you get your bearings on where to start looking for recommendations. One of my all-time favorites has to be Rocket Man by Nancy Conrad and Howard Klausner. It is the biography of Pete Conrad, who you guys know I named my cat after. It uses the interesting device of having a sort of modern day, being sort of late 90s, Pete Conrad circumnavigating the globe in a plane as kind of anchoring stories from his past to kind of take you through his career as an astronaut. The other thing that's so great about this book is that it's written in such a way, and I say this having never actually had a chance to meet him, it really captures his kind of attitude and voice really well. I mean, this is one of the first astronaut biographies I read when I was sort of, early teenager, and like that, this is why I fell in love with Pete Conrad and the Apollo 12 crew and, named the cat after him. So I would definitely recommend this as sort of a really good, like, personal look into the Apollo program and one with a lot of character. Alright, up next is probably my all-time, or at least one of my all-time favorite reference books for Apollo. It is How Apollo Flew to the Moon by my friend David Woods. David is awesome, and he could probably get you to the moon if he had the spacecraft available. The book goes through all of the phases of a lunar mission, but it also breaks down how all the pieces worked. I mean, down to like the computer programs, like lists of what all the, the P52 and all those things, what all of those things mean and how they all really worked. If you want all of the details, this is a fantastic book, and there's a lot. The Springer Praxis series is phenomenal with just expertly detailed books about the space program. Number 3 in my list, where numbers don't matter at all, is This New Ocean, the official program history of Project Mercury. And I will say that On the Shoulders of Titans, which is the Gemini history, and also the one about, it's something, Chariots for Apollo, which is the Apollo program history. These are the brilliantly written, expertly detailed histories by NASA historians written not long after the programs flew. So this one was written in 1966, so, was written while Gemini was still going. So all of the memories are really fresh, all the details are there. I almost would put this as like the companion piece to the official program chronologies, which are literally a play-by-play, day-by-day of all the meetings that led to these programs getting off the ground, bad pun intended. But this is such a great place to kind of start getting in all of the details and helping you figure out where to go next for more information. And just because it's in my hand, I am going to show off that I did have this book signed by Scott Carpenter of Aurora 7 when I met him in, oh golly, I want to say 2011 or 12. So this beat up old book is one of my favorite possessions, not just one of my favorite books. All right, number 4 in my list where numbers have no meaning is Dinosaur, Hypersonic Weapon System, Hypersonic Strategic Weapon System. This, I again will say, is representative of the Apogee series of books, which are phenomenal, and a Canadian publisher I'll throw out there. This is just you can see how many notes I have in here, a fantastic compilation of material relating to the Dinosaur program, and it does come with a DVD that has even more bonus material, so it's not a book about dinosaurs so much as it is a book with all of the materials so that you can learn all the things about dinosaur. And they've got a great one for the X-15 as well, which I also have, and all of the missions too. There's deep space missions, manned missions. The Apogee book series is phenomenal, but it's probably not where you want to start reading about something like dinosaur if you've never come across it before. But if you are familiar and want more details, these things are fantastic. Like, they're brilliant books. I would highly recommend the Apogee series. And last but certainly not least, because it's actually my favorite book of all time, and because so many people give me a hard time for not loving science fiction, is probably the closest to classic science fiction that I will ever read, which is Kurt Vonnegut's Sirens of Titan. This is my favorite book of all time, and it's spacey because there's an army on Mars and also a Taj Mahal on Titan. So it works. It's still spacey. This is a book that the first time I read it, I cried when it was done because it's just brilliant, and Vonnegut is just the most incredible author. I have his entire library in my library. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If you haven't read it, I would urge you to try it. It's Vonnegut, it's fun, it's quick, and it's one of those books that when you get to the end of it, it kind of hits you in the chest like a truck. If you're looking for something vaguely spacey to read, but you don't really feel like thinking too hard because you're on vacation, try this. And bonus space book, because it would be really quite bad of me to talk about my favorite space books and not mention the fact that, you know, my own book is available right now. Breaking the Chains of Gravity. You guys have definitely like seen me put this up in the back of videos and talked about it before, but it's my prehistory of spaceflight, going sort of before all of the missions that we know and love. How did all of the roots of those programs come to be in the right place at the right time, so that when we needed a National Space Agency, all the pieces existed to create one. So just a little reminder, guys, that if you love old space, and even like older pre-space, check out Breaking the Chains of Gravity. All right, so that is a super random smattering of books out of my library, representative of the types of book that I have, but in no way complete. I mean, again, guys, I have these 2 big shelves and 4 that you can't see over here, so there's a lot more books. So tell me what books are essential in your space collections in the comments below, and also if you've got questions about other recommendations or anything else. And do you also have, I mean, I have the Springer Praxis list and the University of Nebraska, I didn't mention those. The University of Nebraska Outward Odyssey series is a phenomenal collection as well. And also the Apogee books. I mean, do you guys have a series that you sort of is kind of your go-to if you're going to recommend something? You always kind of go for those books. Let me know that in the comments as well, and of course your questions that you'd like me to answer or ideas for future episodes. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for daily vintage space content, and with new videos going up every Friday and the occasional bonus video on Tuesdays, subscribe right here so you never miss an episode.